another angle from wherein the Britishers tried to give a new look and they demolished the past was in the houses. Earlier we see that in the 17th and the 18th century, the big armies, the landlords and the rich people lived in a grand mansion called the Havelis. The Havelis had a big courtyard and there were many fountains in that. In this place, actually many families resided and there used to be many rooms also in the Haveli. The outer rooms were used by the males and also were used by the visitors, the guests, and the rooms inside were used by the females. Generally, the Haveli was kept open, meaning to say there was not much furniture in these kind of houses. They talk of one big grand mansion, that is the Kamaluddin's Haveli, which had a separate courtyard, a tent bearer, a torch bearer, and everything was housed within the Haveli itself. It was a grand mansion where people used to get bewildered. So, meaning to say, a Haveli was an old kind of structure wherein the big people used to live. But slowly, when the income of these big armies started declining and the place was so huge and large that it became difficult for them to maintain such big Havelis. So they started subdividing the Havelis and the outside rooms were used as shops by them. Later on, the mercantile class started using these Havelis for storing, that is for the warehouses. But slowly the Havelis went into decay because a person who lives there keeps the house in a different manner than to a person who actually uses it as a godown. Now here that means the Britishers have been able to demolish another part of India, that is demolishing the Havelis. And what is the new thing that they have come out with? The Britishers rather introduced in India the style that was called as the bungalows. And the bungalows were very different from the Havelis. It was built on a huge sprawling area and herein lived the nuclear families, wherein in the Havelis there used to be many families residing, but in the bungalow it used to be generally a nuclear family staying and it used to be a single storied structure and there used to be separate rooms for various activities, like it had a living room, a dining room, a washroom, and all the rooms were separate. It had a kitchen, it had a balcony, it had a veranda, and generally the women of the house sat in the veranda outside in the courtyard and kept supervising the tailors and the tradesmen, and the house was looked after, maintained by many servants of the house. So the old has been demolished, the new has emerged. The Havelis have now become a thing of the past and bungalows were what the Britishers gave to the present day India.